Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Scandal Season 7, Episode 11, and the name of this episode is Army of One. I apologize that this review was late. I've had a crazy weekend, but I'm glad to finally give you this review because this was a really good episode, and I was all here for it. So let me begin. The episode picks up where it left off. Olivia has been fired, or pretty much has been replaced by Millie because she's now put Jake in the position of being the White House Chief of Staff. So her and Olivia had the showdown because Olivia bursts into the Oval Office and it's like, "What did you do?" And then she says, "Don't," and she's like, "Please don't tell me you did. Please don't tell me that you're this stupid." So of course Mary's like, "Stupid? What?" And she's like, "Stupid that you would do this." She's like, "Well, no, I was stupid for believing your lies, you know." And then she also knows about her killing Rashad, and they kind of go back and forth with that. And then she says that, you killed Rashad not because of the treaty. Yeah, that's bullshit. I've been figured that out. Well, the reason why you know is because Jake told you that he killed you because you pretty much were a breach of security because the fact that you fell in love with Rashad. So pretty much she said that you killed Rashad not because of the treaty. You killed Rashad because I was a bad president. But she pretty much says that, look, you have to go. Either you have a week to write up your own resignation that you will announce to the press, or I will announce your termination. It's your call. So, of course, Olivia is like, oh, no, I'm about to flip this out. And then we also see that they're talking about it in the press about Olivia. Will she resign from being White House Chief of Staff? Then we actually see that the wheels are turning because next we see Jake and his wife Vanessa are meeting with David. Because pretty much David is pretty much doing all the paperwork to make Jake the new chief of staff. And he even talks about that him and Vanessa have an open marriage and all of that. And Vanessa's like, "Why are you putting me out there like that?" He's like, "It's okay. We're getting exactly what we've always wanted." So I'm like, oh, Jake is moved. Jake did this shit because he's mad at Olivia. Because one, he's mad that she went to Vermont with Fitz, and that her and Fitz have been, getting it on with each other. Then Olivia came and gave him some of the black puss, and then still was treating him like a pet. So I think that pissed him off, where he decided to strike back, and he took her position. But we're going to see how Olivia plays this shit. Then we see Quinn and Rowan. They're actually watching, the whole story unfold on the news. Quinn is all hype, and pretty much, she's hyped. So she's like, yes, this is our chance to go in for Olivia and take her down and put her away for good. Rowan's like, no, because at the end of the day, yeah, she's no longer running the Oval. But we already know that this is a knockdown for her. But she's gonna lick her wounds and she's gonna rise again. So pretty much the reality is Olivia is the one who's running the show. So regardless of the fact she's down now, doesn't mean she's gonna stay down. And then she was like, no, well, that's just it. We have to get her now. Our time is now. We need to strike her while we can. We need to get her. And then Ron was like, no. And then, Quinn was adamant. He was like, no. Because it's like, first of all, yeah, I know my daughter's, evil incarnate, and she's doing a whole lot of shit right now. That's still my daughter. So, I was feeling Rowan on this. But he had to get Quinn together, too, later on, and I'm going to get to that. Alright, so therefore next week down at QPA, because I'm going to call it QPA because Quinn's still alive. Charlie comes in and Abby lets him know that they got a new client. He's with the State Department, and his name is Robert. He pretty much said that he went to go get a hot dog, and he went to go check his balance, and there was $12 million, and he also got this email from some Russian embassy or something, and he has no idea how this happened or where this came from. And he's kind of like alarmed because he's just a regular State Department worker, and then all of a sudden, overnight, he got $12 million in his account, and it's tied to some, Russian intelligence agency. So he's completely just frantic, like, where the hell is this coming from? So then we actually see Jake and Millie, because now Jake is now new White House Chief of Staff. He takes her to, his command room, and he lets her know that, look, well, I want to show you that being your White House Chief of Staff, with me, you will have full trust and transparency. So everything is all great, and then the next thing you know, every damn thing shut down. And we actually see that afterwards, Jake is talking to the tech engineer, and she's saying, like, look, whoever did this is like some old school rigging, like, this is something that was done like in the 80s. So whoever did this shit, they know what they're doing. And we actually see that it's all Olivia. Olivia got a friend of Rowan's, who actually, has hacked the computers, and he's saying that, man, you know how hard it was for me to do that shit, and he's actually played by Garrett A. Morris, legend of SNL, and also Martin, playing Stan. So seeing him in this role was everything, but then the fact that he's like this old guy, and she pretty much tells him that keep it down until I give you further notice. But yeah, he kind of let her know, like, girl, I ain't did. And we also come to find out that he's also was friends with Rowan, but they haven't spoken years. But yeah, so she actually got somebody old school to shut down the actual command center in the White House. I'm like, Olivia is now holding back. So then we see that Cyrus has a meeting with Millie, So once she finds out, they pretty much go back and forth, and once he realizes that Jake is going to be the new White House Chief of Staff, he flips out on Millie's ass. He was saying, like, what the hell is wrong with you? This is an injection, not a promotion. What the hell are you doing? And she's saying, I want Jake here. So she says that you either be my vice president or someone I have to deal with. And the way I'm feeling right now, you don't want to be somebody I have to deal with. So know your place and get the hell out of my office. So I was like, oh, we already know Cyrus, a.k.a. Maleficent, is not going to take this shit lying down. So then we have a scene with Rowan and Quinn, and he's holding the baby Robin. Quinn is still adamant, this is our moment, but I think you're afraid of doing it because you like having us here, but we're not here. But he says, but we're not your family. You need to let us go. But I think it's because you lost your daughter, you're trying to replace her with us, and you can't do that. Or maybe it's the reason why you won't go after her because you just gotten soft. Oh, I'm like, Quinn, you bitch. You fucked up royally when you said that. Because he says that I wouldn't be so loose with your tongue when I got your daughter in my hands. And then he starts applying pressure to the baby, letting this bitch know I can kill this baby with my bare hands right now, and there won't be shit you can do about it. And we see Quinn get shook. I'm like, oh, you won't call him South now, will you, bitch? Talking all that shit. And then all of a sudden, she tries to grab the baby, and he's like, But then he gives the baby back to her, And he lets her know that, look, do not fault me for wanting to protect my child the same way you want to protect your child. So he got Quinn's ass together, but you know Quinn is hard-headed. She ain't gonna take shit lying down. So back at QPA, Huck is trying to chase the money, but it keeps leading him back into a circle. You know, but then, you know, they're asking him, do you have any more information? But Robert, the client, is saying, no, I don't have anything else. You know, I don't know where all this is coming from. Well, they did some research, and they came up with some hotel receipts. You know, so pretty much, you know, he's saying that, so we've been asking you information, that give us everything. You have not given us everything. So pretty much he finally confessed that he's sleeping with a married woman. And lo and behold, the married woman he's sleeping with is Jake's wife, Vanessa. So Vanessa Ballard is his mistress. And they even got videos showing them going into the hotel together. So this story has leaked to the press, you know, and Olivia is just loving it. She is eating popcorn like it's a damn, you know, full feature-length movie and shit. She is just... So we know damn well Olivia was behind getting that information out. And then all of a sudden we see Jake calls Olivia. He's like, so what is it? You going after my wife now? And she was saying that, yes, this is how the way it's going to go. I fully... she's like, I resigned as White House Chief of Staff, and I also resigned as being the head of National Security. And she literally begins to read him his rights, and he picks up on her, and she's just like, okay. Because earlier, you know, once the command thing shut down, he did call her and was like, what the hell you think you're doing? Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, you lost. And she was like, oh no, honey. You took White House Chief of Staff. I'll give you that. That was a good play. But you forgot one thing. You can't take command. And I was like, oh shit. The claws are coming out. And she's shown right now that she is not to be messed with. So it's like her against everybody. And she is literally being like the Machiavellian, just fucking with everything, you know, on the board, and it's crazy. So then we actually see that David Rosen and Jake are having a meeting with Millie in the office. You know, they discussed the leak and everything, and, you know, if anything, this causes suspicion because, you know, they've also tied him to, you know, to like some Russian intelligence agency. Robert, that is, the guy that Vanessa's sleeping with. So they're all up in arms like, what the hell is this? And then like Millie just kind of goes off, it's like, enough. Like, look, launch an investigation and make this shit go away. But she's like, you know what? I really want this to be a good day because today I get my mammogram. You know, it's kind of funny because this is the first time that, you know, me being the female president, you know, it took a hard time for them to schedule me to get my mammogram. So, you know, so she's like, I want to get my mammogram. I want to be in good spirits, but this situation, handle it and make it go away. So then we get a scene with Olivia and Cyrus. Cyrus is still mad as fuck at Olivia because Olivia killing Rashad pretty much boomeranged into him and Fenton Glaxon falling apart. So that's the reason why he launched his whole thing against Olivia, because Olivia killing Rashad made him lose Fenton, and he's still bent out of shape, and her feelings are hurt, and she's just coming after everybody involved, including Jake, because Jake was the one who actually blew up the plane. So pretty much she kind of comes in and she's like, she sees that Cyrus is in the room drinking. She's like, you want me to drink with you? And he's like, well, not really, because I don't drink with my enemies. And she said that, look, I did what I had to do to protect the Republic. At the end of the day, I made a call, and yeah, there were some casualties along the way, but I did what I had to do. And when you were White House Chief of Staff, you did killing for far much less. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point there. You know, so he's saying that, you know, okay, so why are you here? And she says that, well, the thing is, my secret weapon is you, as far as the White House, because you would have done the same thing if you were in my position. And then he's saying that, look, Millie right now is being deceived. She's listening to Jake of all fucking people. She's literally being, you know, being hoodwinked by Jake. And if he can push me out, what makes you think your job is safe? So that gets the wheels turning with Osiris, aka Maleficent. Oh, but let me give a shout out to Jeff Perry. He is a damn good actor. I love him playing this role of Cyrus because he gives Cyrus so much dimensions. Like, we know Cyrus is this evil queen, but then he also has some sentimental sides to him too. So, and he does an awesome job playing him. So I just wanted to mention that. Because this episode, them damn fangs came out, and I'm about to get to that shit. So then we see down at QPA, Robert, Vanessa, and Jake are there, you know, to discussing, you know, a plan or whatever. You know, and we see that Robert is trying to talk to Vanessa, and Vanessa's like, Robert, no. He's like, look, she told me everything was okay. If I knew that it wasn't okay, I would have never. And then Jake gives him that look like, if you don't shut the fuck up. Because it's obvious this guy is just a regular worker in the State Department. He's not nobody special. He's not some high-level person. This is just somebody that she was fooling around with. And, you know, Olivia found out about it, you know, pretty much marked him to take down Jake, because her mission is to destroy Jake before he gets sworn in as White House Chief of Staff. So we seeing that. So pretty much they're trying to figure out, you know, how is it that he's being linked to a Russian foreign intelligence service? How the hell is this even possible? And then all of a sudden we see this fool go make a Robert, you know, and they're all in OPA. He goes to get a bagel and a melon. He's like, you know. And then he tells Jake, I would like to thank you for adding me to your list of concerns. Jake looks at him and is like, shut up, Robert, and eat your melon. I was like, Jake was not here for it. Just like, even though, you know, we know that Jake didn't, I mean, obviously, Jake is bent out of shape because it's Olivia, because we know he's in love with Olivia. And we know that Vanessa is only, you know, she's pretty much, you know, his marriage of convenience, you know. I mean, it's pretty much an arranged marriage, pretty much. I mean, they do have sex, but, you know, they pretty much have an open marriage, so she's screwing other people, and so is he. But he's mad because, you know, he got the black puss, but he didn't like the fact that Olivia still had control, so as anybody who doesn't want to be controlled, he rebelled. And now he's getting the backlash of that shit. So then we see that Jake goes to Millie and kind of lays out, you know, that, okay, we need a little bit more time, you know, to figure out a plan. Cyrus comes in and is like, you know, I have a solution to your problem. And just sits himself down and is like, okay, I'll tell you exactly what to do to make this go away. So then we see that Vanessa does an interview with the press, and she lies and says that the reason why she was meeting Robert was because he was a Russian spy, and I was there as a spy to get information for Jake. You know, yes, I went to this room, we talked, I got a headache, and I left. Olivia is pissed, because now the whole stigma of her cheating on her husband is completely out the window, but then it just magnifies that Robert is actually that he really is a Russian agent and she was there to spy on him. So I'm like, damn. So now Robert and QPA are pretty much, you know, he's kind of like up in arms like, I cannot believe that she went on television and said that I was a Russian spy. You know, what can I do? She says that, hey, we got to listen to defense attorneys. You know, you can try that route. And then Charlie was like, or there's a flight to Budapest in 5 hours. It's your choice. And we find out later on that he actually chooses the defense attorneys and he chooses to go that route. So that may come back later on. We don't know, but we'll definitely be tuning in. So then we get a scene with Olivia and Cyrus, and this is the scene I'm talking about where Cyrus fangs, like literally the horns like Maleficent just came out, like. And what he does is that he presents, you know, her with a memo saying that this is a private memo that Millie sent to the CIA director telling him to corroborate Vanessa's story. So we now know that this shit was a lie, and yeah, this can take down Jake. But then Olivia's like, no, it can not only I wanted to take down Jake, but this takes down Millie. She can be impeached for this. And he says that, yeah, and if she gets impeached, guess who's gonna be president? I'm like, see, that bitch is making a power play. And he pretty much says that Millie's an amateur. She didn't even know I was setting her up. I came in there, you know, did a little razzle-dazzle for her ass, and she completely fell for it. Like, she's completely gullible. She's open, you know. She's like, yeah, I made it easy. But he's saying that, hey, I'm giving you a lifeline. You know, you need me and I need you. We're both parasites. We suck each other's blood until one of us gets to the top. You know that's who we are. So now you got your ammunition. Use it. So I'm like, see, that little damn evil troll. He wants to be president. He wants that power, and he's not gonna rest until he gets it. So pretty much right now it's like, okay, she can play this card to get rid of Jake, which it will happen, but it will also take down Millie. And Millie being the first president, that's definitely going to be scandalous. So then we see back at the house with Rowan and Quinn. Quinn just strikes up a plan. She says that, and she's pretty much saying that, look, with this whole situation, it seems that Liv is still fighting. She's like, you know, I'll make a deal. I'll call Charlie. Me, him, and Robin will disappear, and you'll never hear from us again. I'll leave. I'll give up my pursuit of justice and putting Olivia in jail, and, you know, you spare us, and I'll spare your daughter. So, what do you think? So, do we have a deal or not? So then we see that Millie is at the office about to get her mammogram. And then we see that Olivia comes in there with her red shawl, the hair is laid, and she lets her know, like, so she pretty much asks her, so, are you ready to step down? And Olivia's like, honey, I'm not stepping down. You are. And she's like, excuse me? So she pretty much gave her the memo, showed her that, yeah, you actually, you know, you pretty much, you know, presented falsified information to the press, you know, and if anything, I'm calling for your resignation. But she says that what you're going to do is that, yeah, you're going to resign, but you're going to do it gracefully. And you're going to take responsibility because you're the first woman to be president. You do not want to close this door for other women that are going to come after you. So I tell you to be honest, to be graceful, and to leave honestly. And she's saying that, oh yeah, and good luck on your examination. Prevention is the key to survival. I'm like, Olivia, you bitch! I'm like, Olivia is a damn mess. She's like, I put the cards on you, bitch. You think you had one on me by putting Jake in the Shiva staff? No, bitch, I'm running the show, and you're just one of the pieces on the board. Don't get it twisted. I was like, that damn Olivia is a mess, and she's shrewd with it. I wasn't even mad at her. So therefore, back at QPA, they pretty much, as I said before, Robert decided to go the route of getting legal defense. But both Huck and Abby are like, man, this just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel the same without Quinn. And they were pretty much saying that they needed it. They took on Robert because they were saying that they needed clients or QPA was going to shut down. Because they haven't really done anything since, Quinn's disappearance. And they were saying that, like, it's not just the same. But then, all of a sudden Charlie's like, yeah, but maybe it's just the same. And they're like, what are you talking about? And we already kind of know Charlie's working out a plan where he's going to bring Quinn back, to save QPA. So then we see that Charlie plans to go to the house to get Quinn. All of a sudden a gun is pulled out on him, and this Rowan says, he's like, what the hell are you doing here? He says, I came to get Quinn. He's like, no, I let Quinn go hours ago. She said she was going to meet up with you. Olivia comes home. All of a sudden she hears a baby crying. She looks and sees that it's a baby in our house. And then all of a sudden we see Quinn appears. Isn't she precious? I just wanted you to see your goddaughter. For the first and last time. Then she pulls out a gun and lets her know that, I've drafted up, a confession. You're going to confess to this, and your ass is going to jail for the rest of your life for what you did. And she's got this gun aimed at Olivia. And Olivia's trying to talk to her, but she's not trying to hear her. And she's like, Quinn, I'm letting you know, I'm command. Right now, there are guns pointed directly at you, and if you don't take that gun off of me, you're gonna die for real. And she's just still trying to read her rights and everything, and telling her that, you're gonna go to jail for good, and you're gonna pay for what you did, and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, she literally tackles Quinn, because the gun does go off, but Olivia gets shot in her shoulder. So she pretty much tells Quinn, and, get the hell out of here, So, and then we next we see that she goes to Rowan. Rowan patches up her wound, and they pretty much talk, and she says that you lied about Quinn. And he says that you did too. You lied and said that you didn't care when you really did. And he said that, why did you lie and say that she was dead? And he said that, were you going to give me my bones back? And she said no. He's like, exactly, so you got your answer, bitch. And we see that they actually have a very sentimental moment. And we see that it actually makes Rowan very emotional, because at this moment he feels like he finally has his daughter back. And of course Olivia's emotional because she realizes that Quinn hates her now. Then we actually get the actual press conference. The press conference where she was going to either announce her resignation, but now that Cyrus has given her that memo that Millie sent to the CIA, she can use this to call for Millie's resignation. So she pretty much, goes to the stand. All of a sudden, Stand By Me starts playing, and instead of her throwing Millie on the bus, she decides to resign as White House Chief of Staff. All of a sudden, Jake is in that command room. The command room finally lights back up, so she unhacked the system. So it's like once she decided to step down, everything changed. Everything went back, and then Millie just looking at her office, looking all simple and shit. She just kind of lets you know, bitch, I could take you down if I want to. But she chose not to put her out there. But she also did that because she didn't want Cyrus to be president. So we see Cyrus just mad and groveling in his damn chair, and I'm like, so that's what you get when you play dirty, bitch. You forget, she a shrewd bitch just like you, Cyrus. You got competition. But he was the one who trained Olivia, so it's always going to be like a, what the word I'm looking for? It's always going to be combative between the two of them. It always has been. So she pretty much checkmate on Cyrus, like, no, bitch, you're not going to be president. Sit your ass down. You vice, and you need to be content with that shit. But then she also speaks about, about Millie and all of that. And then we see that once she steps down, we see Marcus is there, and he gives Olivia the okay, because that's what they wanted her to do anyway, to get out of the White House. So, if anything, we already know that, due to the fact that Marcus is there and he represents Fix, we also know Fix is game with what she did too. So they're on board with her. So she's now regained some allies, and we're going to see where this is going to move from here. But we know from the next episode, we're going to see a crossover from Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. And to see how both of these shows merge together is going to be epic, and I can't wait. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms that I have listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Scandal. So until then, everybody, take care.